Hello there, everyone. I hope your day is going absolutely amazing whenever you are watching this. So today's topic of the day is all about those closing costs, okay? Again, I don't know how many times people have happened to ask me, Kira, what is closing costs? What is included in there? Why do I have to pay for XYZ? So I'm going to go through a little bit in regards to this, and hopefully you will feel a little bit better and it'll make all the sense in the world when it comes down to these lovely closing costs that you see when you have written an offer or submitted an offer, or you see them on the closing disclosure at the end or beginning. All right, let's dive in. What in the world is closing cost? Closing cost, my short answer, is everything that's needed to actually close the loan. Believe it or not, whether you think this is really going on, but there are people working behind the scenes to make sure that your loan closes on time, and closes with no hidden problems. Okay, that's the best thing I'm gonna say. So in order to do this, there's services that are put in place, and pretty much this is how these folks get paid, right? This is how title gets paid and lender gets paid and so forth. So that's what those closing costs are there for. So if you're looking to buy a house, sell a house, this is really for sellers and buyers to understand what this is. Please know that in order for this transaction to happen, there are a lot of parts in place, and these people have to get paid for their time, right? So all of our time is very valuable, and once it's gone, it's gone. So there are payments that are needed in order for this to run smoothly and be done correctly, okay? All right, so let's talk about a little bit of what is included in this closing cost. You will see this on the closing disclosure, or HUD, or we've called them all kind of names. You will see the breakdown of all the fees that are included and who paid for what, okay? So a few things that are included in the closing costs: title services, closing fees, owner's title insurance, lender title insurance, the payoff for the mortgage. I think some people may have honestly missed that if you're selling your house, you still have a mortgage, you have to pay it off. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, there's a little fee for that. All right, so fee for that, prep, recording of the title, all of that stuff, the deed, commission, home warranty. All of these things are included in what we call closing cost. All right. Now, how much are they? Let's just say you're out and about and you're just trying to figure out, okay, I'm using $300,000. Let's use a $300,000 loan. This is what I qualify. This is the house that I'm looking at. How much are closing costs going to be? To help you just kind of average it out a little bit, let's just say 3.5% will give you an idea of how much your closing costs can be. Now, if you have a conventional loan and you're asking for the seller to pay closing costs, you can only ask for up to 3%. So whatever is left over will be on you as a buyer, right? For you to pay for, okay? So if you want to know, so let's just say, for instance, it's a $300,000 house, we're doing 3.5%. For closing cost amount, that could be about $10,500 for your closing costs. Now, who pays for that? Let's go into that one. That's my next point. Who pays? Now, if you've seen any of my previous videos, it really depends on the market that we're in. Now, if we are in a seller's market, it would be sometimes a miracle if the seller pays, right? Because they know there's a ton of buyers out there and there's only a few of us listing our house right now. So listen, I have 10 people ready to send me an offer, and I'm going to take the most attractive one, which most times is not asking for closing costs. So keep that in mind. If we are in a buyer's market, hey, it's a little bit of a shift. It's a difference. You may be asking for everything plus the lamp. You know what I mean? So you can maybe ask for that seller to pay all of closing costs or part of your closing costs. So You just want your offer to be attractive and one that actually gets accepted, all right? You don't want to play around and just see what you can get. Each party needs to be fair, right? So please remember that it honestly depends on the market that we're in. If you're in a seller's market, there's ways around this. Let's just say you need that closing cost pay because you don't have $10,000 in the bank and you're already paying your down payment. So, okay, now I need another, $10K. So I need $25,000. You may not have that. So another option could be to maybe wrap it in the loan. So you can go up on that purchase price to $310,000, right? And include that closing cost there and still ask the seller to pay for it, right? So I hope I didn't talk too fast. Let's just say the price of a house is $300,000. You don't have the $10,500 to pay for closing costs. So you say, you know what? I'm gonna up my purchase price to $310,500. And then I'm gonna ask for closing costs for the seller to pay, which is $10,500, which means that seller is netting $300,000. So it brings it back to that price. Now, obviously there's pros and cons to this, like everything. Now, you definitely want to make sure that the house is going to appraise for $310,000, okay? You want to make sure that that's going to work. If this is not a house where that could work, then the whole wrapping the closing costs into the loan is not going to work. And if you can't qualify for $310,000, that's not going to work either. So you need to come down on your purchase price or what you're looking for when it comes to houses if you don't have that money so that you can wrap it in there. I hope that makes sense, and I've added a little bit more value to you there and a little strategy, okay? So now let's talk about on the buyer side when it comes down to closing costs. Sometimes please keep in mind that the seller does not have to pay your closing cost, okay? Honestly, I feel like just way back, right? Because I've met some older people, they're like, oh, that's my responsibility. Okay, the buyer wants this house, then this is their, adult decision, and they need to have their stuff together and be able to pay for that. They're closing on this house, right? People have all of their ideas, and sometimes depending on where we are in the world, it can be different places, right? There could be some norms where people totally ask for closing costs all the time, right? And then there could be other states that it's almost an insult or something or to do that. And honestly, sometimes even depending on the price point, as the price point gets higher, sometimes those folks are not asking for closing costs either. So remember, buyer, I just say my advice to you is have it saved up, or maybe have the way that you can pay for this closing cost. If that seller doesn't want to pay, but it's the house for you, okay? And seller, let me talk to you for a second. Please be prepared and do not be shocked if a buyer comes and asks for closing costs. I just recently had a seller do this, was just appalled, guys, appalled that this buyer asked for closing costs and the amount that they asked, which was only $6,500. And for you sell, that may still sound like a lot, but he was absolutely appalled. I told him the market that we were in, I don't believe at all that that's bad, right? But that seller, please keep in mind, know what you can and can't do. Know what you need to walk away with. What do you need to net once you sell this house? I've had some sellers that were upside down. I had some that just walked away with $2,000, $3,000, but they really want to just get off the property. And then I have some that, hey, they walked over $100,000 and that was a joy, right? They needed that money for where they were going, for another down payment on a home, or for savings or a venture that they wanted to do. There's so many reasons why people are selling. But if you feel like you have a cap on what you are willing to pay for closing costs, keep that in mind. So if you say, you know what, I'll pay $10,000 of somebody's closing costs, but no more than that. Well, hey, if somebody comes and just asks for $5,000, you're winning, right? Unless they come lower on the purchase price, then you're not, right? But please don't be surprised. And sometimes, depending on the market that we're in, if we're in a buyer's market, it may be something that's totally going to happen, and it may be your best offer. Okay, so it may be best to take it, but it may not be best. Overall, you gotta know what you need, know what you're looking for, don't be unreasonable, and go from there. So, okay, I hope that this video helped you in understanding what closing costs is all about and the part that you play when it comes down to it. I can't wait to have another video out there for you. We release them all the time. Please don't forget, subscribe, like, click that notification bell so that you can be alerted every time we are dropping some amazing dimes and nuggets to help you in this real estate world. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.